Access Sacramento presents Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community. Folsom Lake Honda.
Well, for teams in quest of playing for a section basketball championship at Golden One Center, there is one more tall mountain to climb. We are in the semifinals of the CIF Sac-Joaquin section Les Schwab Tires basketball playoffs, and we have a doozy for you here on Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week. Girls Division II hosts Sacramento, taking on the visiting Whitney Wildcats. With Lauren Goodman, I'm Will James, and we're so happy to have you with us because we think this will evolve into a terrific ball game tonight. And the table's set for us.
Oh, the table is set, Will, and these two teams are coming out to battle fiercely against each other. Whitney came in early, got those early shots up in the Dave Hotel Pavilion, but of course the Dragons are trying to protect home court tonight.
Sidney Gadsden's Wildcats come in at 19-11. They place tied for second in their division, the Sierra Foothill League, and Michelle Massari's Dragons come in with a splendid 24-5 mark, undefeated in league play in the Cal, and they have never played each other, but they have played a number of common opponents, which indicates some measure of comparison for these two squads.
Oh yeah, and these two teams are very strangers to each other because they haven't got an opportunity to play each other, so tonight they're filling each other out. Both coaches just aware of the newness of this matchup, and they're very trying to get to the point of figuring out how can they come in and decept either team.
We will find out which team did the better scouting coming into this round. And for the visitors, Wildcats have never played here before in any capacity, so we'll see if they're able to make the adjustments that always need to be made. Well, the last outings obviously successful to get these teams here in the semifinals, Lauren.
Well, the Cats had a big victory over Grant, and they had a big first quarter in that game, outscoring the Pacers in every quarter, and then there was 10 players who hit scoring column, so they had a multitude of contributions in that game over Grant.
Well, they sure rolled in that opening round, and they did the very same thing in the quarterfinal, complete destruction of Lincoln.
Well, Sacramento handled Lincoln, turned up the heat on the Zebras with a 20-point first half in the third quarter, and then 4 Dragons in double figures. That type of contribution can lead any coach to happiness when they're trying to get a playoff victory.
Well, in the next round for the Whitney Wildcats, Sidney Gadsden's ball club didn't quite have the scoring punch in one of those games, but they were 2 very decisive victories.
Well, the Wildcats led quick again, but they led after three quarters, 25, and then Lewis Cobbler and Seniors captain duel came in for 26 points for Whitney. That's any type of contribution you want to see, but down for Laguna Creek and Sacramento, the Seniors came out heavily against the Young Guns and the Cardinals.
Well, the matchup with Laguna Creek brought to an end a rather impressive push by those youngsters, but you can't say enough about it. Playoff experience and big game experience.
Well, these two teams haven't had a matchup yet, but Sac High, we know they come with the power punch of playoff experience.
The impact players must come up big tonight and lead the way, and we'll start with the Wiley Wildcats.
Well, you got to start with Jada Lewis. She's been leading them in every type of way. 15 points, 8 boards, 64 threes on the season. That's no shortcoming. And then the McFarland sisters coming in, averaging out 9 and 5 points, but their contribution is big. And then Emily Bruston, she is coming in for a senior, 9 points and 5 rebounds. That's not a bad contribution as well. When you have 4 power punches like that, Whitney has any chance to be in this ball game.
And a very rare example of 4 four-year starters. We'll touch on that a little bit later. Now for Michelle Massari's ball club, impact players, also 4-year veterans on the varsity.
Well, these 4-year veterans, Brown, Walters, Avent, and Gomez, are coming in with a contribution that you cannot ask of any other group. This group has been together for 4 years on varsity, and they know what it takes to protect home court. But then you see 33 threes from Brown, 36 threes from Walters, and then Avent coming in with 47 threes. They're letting it fly, Will.
Wow, 3-ball derby. And we want to toss a shout out to Speedy McMillan, would have been a 5th member of that 4-year group here on the Dragons, sidelined with an unfortunate injury. And of course, we hope to see her back for the track season coming up. Well, we've got the table set, but we have more coming up here in the back half of our pregame. Lauren's got the goodies, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
My grandfather served in World War II. Spending time with him were the best memories of my life. I became a physician at VA because of my grandfather, so I can help others like him. I can't imagine working with better doctors or a more dedicated staff. I'm fulfilling my life's mission with the help of my team and thanks to these veterans. I'm proud to be a doctor at VA and proud to honor my grandfather every day. Search VA Careers to find out more.
Welcome back. We're at Sacramento High School, Dave Hotel Pavilion here for tonight's Girls Division II semifinal battle. Sac High hosting the visiting Whitney Wildcats. As we continue our pregame, let's toss it down to floor level. Lauren Goodman has more for us. Lauren?
Well, Will, tonight we know that these two teams can't be here without being led by a head coach, and these two teams have 2 head coaches with fantastic records. First, starting for the visiting Wildcats, we have Sydney Gatson coming in her 6th year as head coach, 108 and 65 overall, and this coach knows what she's doing. Best season came back in 2014-2015 season where she got 24 wins, and her SJS playoff record is 4-3, and she's 0-2 in the NorCals. Tonight she's looking for her 20th wins with the Wildcats. Now, we already know the big dog around here leading the Lady Dragons is Michelle Massari. In her 11th year, she's coming in with 261. This season, she actually got that 250 mark win. 20 seasons plus 9 out of the 11 that she's been here, as well as her best season came back in 2010-2011, where her team was 28-6. In the 11 years she's been here, she's had 9 SJS appearances, but only taken away 4 SJS championships, 2 in Division II and 2 in Division III. since the leadership is taken care of, you got to see where the history is between these two. And tonight is going to be their first ever matchup coming in at the Dragons' Den. Now, these two teams haven't got an opportunity to play each other, but they have had some common opponents throughout this season. Since they haven't played each other, Sac High goes a clean sweep, 5-0 against common opponents. Whitney losing only against Montgomery of San Jose. So tonight is to go to the Gold House, and everybody is locked and loaded. Will?
Thank you, Lauren. Locked and loaded is correct. We can feel the atmospheric intensity rising by minute here at Dave Hotel Pavilion, one of the great old school, traditional, historical venues anywhere in the region. This will be the first time Whitney has played a ball game here, so I would think that may serve as some type of advantage for the host Sacramento High School Dragons. And of course, home court advantage also always crucial, particularly during the playoff run that each of these teams is making. As Lauren mentioned, Whitney looking for their 20th win tonight, and Sacramento High School under head coach Michelle Massari trying to reach the Sac-Joaquin section championship game for the first time in 7 years since 2012. So lots of motivation for what's at stake here tonight, and the crowd continuing to stream in. Right now it's rather a meager crowd, but we have found over the previous couple of playoff rounds that it starts slow and then intensifies the closer we get to game time. So I'm expecting lots of raucous crowd participation this evening, Lauren.
Well, I'm glad to see Sacramento High School coming out with a cheering section, student section to support their girls tonight. It's always hard getting a full crowd for women athletics, anything that we do. So to see the type of crowd that we have tonight, looks like it's in good hands.
Sacramento High defending their home hardwood tonight with a mark of 23-7, 12-0 as they swept through the Cal, finishing first there in this first year of realignment. And Whitney took some shots early, loaded up on another difficult non-league schedule, and finished strong with a 7-3 mark, good enough for a second place tie in the Sierra Foothill League. And that conference has nothing but heavyweights, one after the other.
Oh, Sierra Foothill League is no league to play with. I think everybody understands that. This is why Whitney has the respect that they have coming in the way that they have been, because they know that the league holds its own.
Well, there's always key factors to analyze, to discuss, to compare. And Lauren Goodman continues to have her fingers on the pulse. So Goody's game at a glance will give you the lowdown on what we've got tonight in this girls Division II semifinal.
Well, tonight two teams got here for a reason, and they got here by playing their own style. So do not allow yourself to get out of your comfort zone and try to do something different. Don't try to over-scout or over-analyze the game. Play your way and play your style. Second of all, they're going to have to be able to minimize their turnovers. Both teams want to play up-tempo and apply pressure. Whoever can handle the pressure the most and not have the most turnovers will be able to be victorious in this game. And then last but not least, who is able to execute late. And now they're going to have to obviously execute throughout the game if they can keep it close, but who is able to use their possessions to their advantage as well as make it at the free throw line. Capitalize those opportunities, because down the stretch free throws will play a part into those late executions.
And just reflecting on that, you brought up a good point there, Lauren. On the season, Whitney shooting 63% from the line as a team, and Sacramento 64%. I truly believe that the winning team is going to have to exceed those marks tonight.
It's something about the free throws all season. I don't think the ones that have been bad, they've told the truth, but everybody else, I can't really understand it. I haven't seen a team shooting over 60% from the free throw line, which I feel like first thing you learn in basketball is layups and free throws are free, and we got to do a better job at that.
Well, we're getting close to game time, and our game officials, a trio of them assigned by the CIF to monitor this game closely, led by referee Mackenzie Campbell. And he'll be working with a pair of umpires, Lou Martinez and Joe Barcelos, teaming with Mackenzie Campbell to keep things fair and square tonight in this girls D2 semifinal. The winner tonight earns a ticket to Golden One Center on Friday, the 22nd. And the winner tonight will be opposing the winner of the Elk Grove Antelope game. We'll touch on that a little bit later as well. We're going to come right back in just a moment and take a look at starting lineups and brace ourselves for the opening tip-off when we come back.
One in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Well, that puts us one notch closer to the start of this ball game. Welcome to Access Sacramento's hometown sports game of the week. There you see part of our crowd continuing to swell here at Dave Hotel Pavilion. Let's take a look at starting lineups. First of all, with the visiting Whitney Wildcats under head coach Sidney Gatson. At the point guard position, Emmy Fowler running the show. The McKenzie sisters are at guard forward positions. Jada Lewis, the centerpiece of this ball club and the all-time scoring leader. And Emily Brustman at a forward position. McKenzie, Lewis, and Brustman are all 4-year starters. They check in with a 19-11 mark, 7-3 in league play. Now for Michelle Massari's Sacramento High School Dragons. Rebecca Brown working in the backcourt with Evan Samaya Mathis and all-star guard Ryan Walters. Adriana Aben, a guard wing, and Murray Gomez in the post round out the starting 5 for the Dragons. 23-7, 12-0. The host Dragons wearing their home whites, trimmed in the traditional purple. And the visiting Wildcats maroon, trimmed in white and just a faint smattering of gold. Again, our officials tonight, Mackenzie Campbell, Lou Martinez, and Joe Barcelos, a trio of them. And we are ready to rock. There's some similarities, as you know, Lauren, with these two ball clubs. They both like to push tempo, and they both like to apply pressure.
Oh, they want to push the tempo and apply the pressure. But that's usually how you see teams. If they play up-tempo and they want to play fast, you have to apply the extended pressure past the three-point line to pick the teams up, as well as if you want to be a good team and get it to the next level, get to Golden One at least, you're going to have to play some bona fide defense.
In the jump circle, Gomez with a slight height advantage over Lewis of Whitney. Up, tap by Lewis, but it goes to Avant, layup down. And immediately a 2-0 lead for Sac, and you see they deploy their pressure.
Immediately to it, Will, but that was too easy of a bucket.
Okay, they break it this time. Off the elbow, take it inside, a slap away, and a steal. At the other end, a missed fast break layup by Gomez, but a whistle and a foul.
Oh, that was pretty good with the no look by Avant, but Gomez got to finish that easy bucket.
So Gomez to the stripe. First foul of the ball game belongs to Mackenzie McFarland. On the season, Gomez is 63% free thrower, and she gets the kind bounce there. And here's another look at the play.
Well, they pushed the tempo like we talked about, Will, and then you see the no-look pass by Avant. Just a little lack of concentration by Gomez.
2 for 2 for Gomez, and a 4-0 Sac lead. A break up at midcourt, and the save unsuccessful despite the hustle by Avant. So near side inbound will come from Lewis to get the Wildcats started. McFarland down the line and lays it home. Mackenzie McFarland, the Wildcats on the board, and they deploy their pressure.
And it's like they both automatically go into it. They know what they want to do and push the tempo.
A brush foul on the drive by Brown.
And again, you see them pushing in tempo. Easy foul, just bumping a little bit too much right there, but the pace, Will, has picked up very fast and very rapid, and free throws are already playing a factor going to Sac High's benefit.
Foul was on Maisie McFarland. Both of the McFarland sisters have a foul each, and 1 out of 2 for Rebecca Brown at the stripe, and it's a 5-2 lead. Nice execution on the press break. Kick out and a 3 on the way. Leaping rebound. Gomez send it ahead. It's Avant. Lean in, throw up a wild shot that's missed, and out of bounds to Sac.
She has to do better with just going to finish the layup instead of turning her body and getting all irky-jerky. I know Coach Masari right now is calling out the execution for out of bounds, but they need that bucket back.
So inbound will come from Walters near the left corner. Brown and now Gomez attack and miss the bank. Fight for the board. Saved on the sideline by Walters. Air ball on the 3, but Gomez is there. Put back down.
Gomez monstrous around the rebound, but it started with Ryan Walters' extra effort.
Beat the press, send it ahead. Cherry pick layup. Missed, but it's going to be a foul called on Walters.
And that's one thing, the last time I know we saw them in the Christian Brothers game, she got 2 fouls early in the first quarter. So with her being in the back of the press, Whitney has to continue to be aggressive and make Sac High make decisions, and if they want to let their best player get 2 fouls or not.
Mackenzie McFarland drills number 1.
And it was an easy call. Instead of getting back for the charge, she tried to go for the block. And any swipes, it's easy for an official to call it.
Number 2 also good. A pair for McFarland, and that pulls Whitney within 7-4.
Seems like the McFarland sisters have been handling business for Whitney thus far, and they haven't even got their best player in rotation yet.
Avant attacks, misses a running bank, boards are missed. Loose ball picked up by Mathis. Swing it. Here's Brown. In and out on the 3. Rebound brought down by Maisie McFarland. Break up and near steal. Lots of contact, no calls. Into the front court now. Lewis fires short on the 3. A save, and it goes to Mathis, but here's a deflection and a turnover. Inside shot missed. Out of bounds to Sac. The action you can see already hectic, frenetic, and warming up as we speak. Substitution. Brown sits down for Sac High. And onto the floor, Covarrubias of the Dragons. Mathis dribbles through the pressure, and they beat the timeline. Avent fires away. Down! Deep three. And Driana Avent, she's in for 5 of their 10. Transition, down! Beautifully done by Maisie McFarland. Fast break the other way. Avent scores and draws a foul.
Avent's taking over single-handedly right now with her ability to score.
That foul on Lewis, her first. Correction. The foul was on Brustman. It's their 3rd foul. And Avent's going to try to complete a 3-point play. And does.
Well, she's always had the ability to score really, really well. And it always works in a good package when you have other players surrounding around you that are just as talented as you.
So far, the Wildcats have done an excellent job with their press break. Brustman handling. Trying to get Lewis shook loose, and she misses the running bank.
And it's immediate pressure by Whitney Wildcats. Immediately after the missed bucket, they just pick up full court, forcing the Dragons to call a timeout.
They sure did. Dragons up 13-6. And we have seen exactly what we thought we would, Lauren. The transition tempo and the pressure D.
Oh, it's been amazing tonight. You can't, at least their conditioning and the fact that they're in shape to run their own game, be in it, and I talked about this as my first point, play your style, and both teams are doing that. As right now, Coach Massari's just getting on her team about ball pressure and helping. They know that Whitney wants to pressure and extend it, and they're going to keep in it the whole time. Whitney, on the other hand, they're going to go in on defense, so they're just talking about keeping the pressure up. They're doing a good job with handling the press thus far, and they need to continue pressuring Sac when they make rotations. That's when you'll see Whitney being able to creep into there and make some moves on getting back into this game.
I think it's going to be very important for Whitney to have Jada Lewis get into the scoring column sometime very soon and get that first bucket or first point. Walters handling, sneaking inside, missed the bank. Lewis a rebound. Send it ahead, a leak out. McFarland runs it down. There's the trailer. Brustman down.
I like it.
13-8. Trouble at midcourt on the double team, but Sac breaks it. We're midway first at the 4-minute mark in case you've just dialed in, so find yourself a comfortable seat and settle in. A turnover. Lewis comes up with it.
And that was a good play for Lewis. Even though she hasn't gotten in the score column yet, she's still playing good defense, solid, and maybe she'll get a bucket right here while Sac High made these rotations.
Lewis badgered there. Here's a pickoff on the run by Walters. One-on-one, down.
Speed demon.
A whistle and a foul. They're going to call Walters for her second foul. Non-shooting, and Lewis will inbound far side.
And this is time and time again when we see Sacramento High School get in trouble. When Ryan Walters gets off the floor, she's just their floor general and their overall leader. So when she's out of the game, you lose your best defender, your best scorer.
Boy, she is a dynamo, leading this ball club in most departments. There's the cutter, whistle, and a foul on the Dragons.
Easy call. Whitney attacking and exploiting the backdoor cut. They see the easy opportunity. As you see Coach Katzen right now talking and looking over at her team, trying to make sure they can execute a play right now.
The foul's on Brown, her first. McFarland muscles in and gets called for a charge by referee Mackenzie Campbell.
That was a good read by Brown. Way to see it, but that was an offside help. Way to not follow your man and just stay in the help side, and then she was in the right space at the right time to get a charge.
Here's another look at it.
And right here, she's in help side. She just moves over to the spot where she sees the driver at, taking the charge.
And that forced Coach Gatsen's hand. She had to pull Mackenzie McFarland with the second foul. So she's gone to her bench. Deep shot on the way, air ball on the A-vent three, and Brustman runs it down. Fowler handling, high post, picked off. A-vent was waiting for it. Here's a one-on-one drive and got it.
Her offense right now is too unreal. It's too easy for her to score buckets and opportunities. If you're thinking in Whitney's mind, you might want to let her go off and minimize everybody else if you can.
Those high passes around midcourt, pretty chancy. Brustman, a poor pass, another turnover. Transition sack. A-vent misses the bank. Brustman rebounds, and we got a whistle and a timeout signaled by Whitney.
I like it. I think Whitney is maybe kind of catching up to the game right now and seeing that Sac High's kind of a little too fast for them. They don't want to play that fast-paced game the entire game. But if she calls this timeout and manages it very well, she can get an execution and be right back into the ball game down 7.
It will be very interesting to see whatever adjustments are made in this very timeout. It comes on the flip side of quarter number 1 with Sac on top, 17-8. They broke out on top and have led from the outset. Largest margin, 13-6, but now they've stretched to 17-8, and we'll see how the Wildcats adjust to what they've seen here in the last 90 seconds.
I think right now they're matching the energy and intensity of Sac High, but they're not being able to capitalize and score buckets. Even if you're playing heads up, mano y mano, and matching the energy, you have to turn that into points, and Whitney hasn't been successful in that area right now, which is why they're down.
Okay, backcourt pressure. Brustman looking for some help. Sends it back to Fernandez, just on Tess Fernandez, a sophomore guard off the bench. Leak inside, missed the bank. Follow up, Lewis, down. Boy, that was persistence in traffic.
She wanted that bucket and she went and got it, and that was a good call for Coach after the timeout, getting your best player to get a bucket.
17-10 as the Wildcats draw closer. A-vent fires away. Another error. Here's a leak out. Lewis sends it ahead to McFarland. Blocked at the end line by A-vent.
And that was a hustle play for you, Will. Well, when you miss your shot, this is how you get back and get a nasty block.
It'll be Whitney ball. Lewis to inbound, baseline right. Inside, Brustman, tough luck on the flip. It trickled off. Up the floor pushing is Gomez. Brown to A-vent, fire again. She's missed her last 3. Rebound, Mathis. Broken up and...
Ooh, Will. I thought.
Yes, I did too.
I thought I saw another way, but
I did too.
This is when we get in trouble for Sacramento High School. If you're Sacramento High School, when Ryan Walters is on the bench sitting next to the coaches, and then you have players in the game who do not run the show, as you see on the last possession, and now they have a turnover. When your leadership is not on the floor, you are a different team, and Sacramento High School has to do a better job at responding right now when she's out.
An unforced turnover. A minute left here in the first. Sac by 7. They break the press. Fernandez surrounded, gets it to Lewis. Fire away. Off target, a force. Push it ahead. Brown to Avent, lose the rock. Out of bounds to Whitney. That's a Sac turnover. The Dragons 4th. Both clubs have 4.
Way to make it up right there. And you see right now, immediate sub. When you can't make shots and you're making plays, you're kind of tired, maybe fatigued. And now you see Adriana Avent coming down to the bench.
40 seconds to go. Brustman sends it to the middle. They break it. Lewis sends it ahead. A bad pass. Saved. Good hustle by Brustman. Fernandez falls down, gathers, tied up. Rails back, down!
Way to manage the possession for Whitney.
Sophie rails back. 17 seconds, and the Wildcats pull within 5.
Well, I can't believe it's still only quarter 1.
Mathis against the taller Brustman. Stop and go, layup, missed. At the buzzer, Lewis sends it off the backboard. We have played 8 up-tempo minutes. Sac's on top, defending home court, but we got a long way to go. Stay with us.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Welcome back. We open second quarter action from Sac High in this girls Division II semifinal. Host Sacramento on top 17-12. Whitney gets the second quarter inbound. Tess Fernandez into the ball game at a guard position. Tapped away. She gets it back. Badgered hard on the perimeter. That's a Sac trademark. Lewis, a miss. Offensive board, nice job there, but it's tapped away. We got a held ball tie-up, and Sac has the rock. Call it a Whitney turnover.
I will say right now, even though Sac came out as the aggressor, Whitney is responding with the physicality and going after the extra plays, kind of getting Sac in the areas where they can't be productive.
Shooting was pretty good in the first quarter. Whitney 5 out of 10 for 50. Here's Gomez getting decked on the drive. And Sac 6 of 13. Accuracy at 46%.
I didn't see that much contact on that last play. Gomez has to capitalize off these moments, make free throws.
Tess Fernandez picked up the foul. And Gomez clicks on another free throw. 3 for 3 so far. And a miss. 18-12 Dragons. We've just opened second quarter play. Lewis, a miss. Nice track down. Feed it low, layup, missed! Followed up, loose ball, shoveled out to Lewis. Drive it, down! Jada Lewis, her second field goal.
And that's what you want to see from your big-time player. She's just been patient, confident, and still playing through. Easy foul call.
Gomez very active in the post. Back to the line where she's been up there on 2 previous occasions. Lewis called for the foul, and we'll show you a look at it.
Easy call. She was late on the rotation right there. Bumped her in the back. Now she's to the free throw line.
19-14 after that Gomez free throw, make it 20. She has really come on strong in the scoring department throughout the playoffs. In one of the recent games, here's a breakup and steal. Kick out and a 3 on the way. No. Good rebounding position by Railsback. Into the post, McFarland gets clubbed in between 2 defenders. Oh my goodness.
We're getting some sound effects tonight. I always say, and you see Coach on that last one, I think the hit and the contact created the travel, if we're going to call that.
Okay, that's one to remember. Elbow J falls short, taken by Gomez. Lewis boards it. Pass up the floor. A kick out, thrown poorly, and it's a turnover. Sac taking advantage, getting at least 3 buckets directly off turnovers so far in this game. Avent, short. Lewis, missed! Tough luck. Here's a leak out. Gomez, down. Time out, Whitney. It comes at the 5:32 early here in the second. And they want a full timeout. Well, we've mentioned that there's been some core players on both ball clubs since their freshman year. And that's most impressive. And for Whitney, there's the 4 that have been 4-year starters.
That's big time, Will. I don't think a lot of programs understand the value of returning your teams and not having transfers. And in the day and age of transfers, I mean, it happens almost simultaneously every year. So to have a group that sticks together and stay together throughout the whole journey is really special, and that's why this Whitney team is trying to capitalize on that and have the icing on the cake at Golden One.
Well, it's very impressive. This being their senior year, certainly they'd like to cash it in with something memorable, like a trip to the championship game at Golden One. Michelle Massari would like to have the same thing evolve for her Dragons. Right now, Whitney will inbound. It'll be Mackenzie McFarland asked to tuck in her jersey. And Sac continues to show their full court pressure.
Oh, and they want to play extended. They have their combo in right now. They're young, fast guards.
Another turnover. Walters, a kick out. Gomez in and out on the pull-up. Walters double dribbled or traveled. Turnover, Sac. So both clubs trade turnovers. 9 on Whitney, 5 on Sac.
Right now, Whitney wants to get back in this ball game or continue to stay in the ball game. They have to minimize their turnovers. Right now, Sac High is just taking away the middle, go up the court, and go down the sideline.
Rails back, doubled, stolen away. Mathis has the rock, 2-and-1, feed low, a layup down. Walters sticks it in.
Easy with the hang time, Rye.
10 turnovers. They did a very good job in the first quarter, not the same here in the second.
Well, the major thing is Sac High is adjusted and taking away the middle where Whitney wants to get the ball, which means the sideline is wide open.
Down! Wow, Maisie McFarland off the 45 angle. Her 4th point. It breaks a drought. Down, 3 balls straight away. Knocked down by Mathis.
And that was something you normally don't see from the Dragons outside shooting on a normal basis, so that's good to see.
Into the post. McFarland misses the bank. Rebound tapped and taken on the run. Here's Walters. High dribble. Down.
Too easy, Coach. I totally agree with you. Timeout right now.
Well, you know, Ryan Walters has been a 4-year standout and definitely their team leader. And here's part of the reason why, Lauren.
Well, she can do everything. She's rebounding, she's giving assists, and she's leading the team in steals. And on top of that, she's one of the 3 Dragons who are scoring almost 10 points a game. So she is going above and beyond, but she's a Division I athlete, and that's what you have to do. You have to be able to rebound on that level. You have to be able to pass the ball as a point guard, and then also dropping in some steals, showing you that she's all about her defense.
She's already registered 3 steals in this game. And you saw that the last one cashed in. Continued backcourt pressure hounding the Wildcats. Flip side of quarter 2 at the 3:45. McFarland attacks, misses, and she's fouled on the rebound.
Easy call. And I like the adjustment by both teams right now. Sac High taking away the middle because easily Whitney was beating the press with no pressure at all, like Sac High wasn't even there. And then on the other hand, Whitney using that timeout to make an adjustment and fix their press break.
Brustman misses a 3 and Gomez boards it. 3.5 to go, quarter number 2, 29-16. Sac is pushed out to a 13-point lead, but here's a turnover on the interception by McFarland.
Looked like a miscommunication. Way miscommunication for the Dragons.
At the other end, Brustman hits the layup on the leak out. Her second bucket, 29-18. Very spirited, physical, intense game so far. Deep J, another miss by Avent. That's, I think, 5 in a row. McFarland dips inside, misses in close. Boards her own miss. Lewis, down.
There's something special about these McFarland sisters. They just play the game very smart, making good decisions out there for their team, and then they're giving the extra effort as well.
And their top sport is softball, if you can believe that. Inside the Gomez. Oh, yes. Avent with the feed, 31-20. Lewis to Fowler at the 2-12.
And now this is the matchup you want to see. I see McFarland now getting guarded by Mathis, Sac High's best defender.
Another miss by Lewis. Gomez playing guard right now, 1-on-2, kicks it out. Avent down.
Scoring is just so easy for her at this point. If she just turned up the pressure a little bit, she would see a totally difference in her game.
They beat the press, 2-1, pump fake, and a whistle and a foul.
That wouldn't be a McFarland sister, would it?
Yes. So Avent gets clipped for her second foul in about a minute and a half. So Walters 2 fouls, Avent 2 fouls, and Mackenzie McFarland at the stripe has 2, short on the free throw.
McFarland is just so smart, gets her in the air, easy call, with the swipe across the body.
Alyssa Baker into the ball game for the Wildcats, wearing 34. Number 2 is good, but we got a whistle, possible lane violation.
Lane violation on the Dragons can't happen. Like, I don't get it.
Well, they do not score the point, so I guess they're saying
Oh, lane violation on Whitney?
Whitney stepped in, apparently.
Oh, wasn't expecting that.
Feed the cutter, loose ball. However, Dragons are able to hold on to it at the 119 mark.
And this is where things get interesting when they go into their second group.
5 on the shot clock. Mathis, a miss. And the Dragons chase it down and reload. Brown, pump fake, jumper, no.
Like the idea, but you got to be ready to make the adjustment.
Brusman rebounds it, and we're seeing backcourt pressure here on Fowler by Mathis. 45 seconds. Into the post, tapped away, out of bounds. Good D by the Dragons, but unable to save it. So Whitney will have the rock, which is 10 on the shot clock, 38 in the half.
And you see Coach Gatson right now trying to talk to her team, get some offense in. But I have to commend the Dragons in their adjustment and their defense this year.
In the lane jumper, another miss by Lewis. She hasn't yet found her groove. 30 seconds. Mathis on the point. Working with 4 subs. Remember, Lauren Goodman will be interviewing our head coaches during this break. Coming up. 15 seconds. 10 on the shot clock. Swing it around. Here's Brown, wiggle inside. A foot shuffle, no call. She gets it back. Corner jumper, down. It beats the buzzer, Rebecca Brown with the 3 ball, and it boosts the lead to 16. 36-20, Sac High getting a big boost on that last shot by Rebecca Brown, and they take a 16-point cushion into the intermission at 36-20. And I do not expect the tempo of this ball game to slacken at all when the second half rolls around. But we got a ways to go, and we're going to hold your attention for a moment while Goody has her first coach's interview coming up. At the quarter, it was 17-12, Sac by 5. And then in the second period, the Dragons steadily pulled away, gradually but steadily. And as a result, on top now by a healthy cushion. Well, Lauren Goodman is standing by with Sac head coach Michelle Massari. Lauren?
Well, I'm here with Michelle Massari, leader of the Dragons. First half, what's your synopsis? How you feel like your team played?
I thought we're coming off a couple people being sick, so our legs and our energy was a little off in terms of like constant motor. I thought we got away with Rye and Adriana just having 2, which was big for us because you get 3 and you kind of now got to play a little differently. And we just got to battle like it's not going to be easy in the semis. So and we got to fight for every ball, every trap, everything. We can't have moments where we let down.
Coach, it looked like in the first half your game plan on their big 3 worked really well. Can you talk to me about your defense and how you wanted to execute in that first half?
It's a little bit hard because we want to press, but we want to take away what they do. So at some point you just got to say, like, go. But we're trying to really take away what they do and put them in a different, uncomfortable position. Our biggest thing, we got to box out. Like, if we don't box out, then it's going to be harder every game.
Good luck in the second half, Coach. Will?
Thank you, Lauren. Yes, we're expecting a all-out second half, so don't wander off too far. We're going to come back for lots more of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh, no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school. Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
No.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls, second.
Are you orange?
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Welcome back. We are here at Dave Hotel Pavilion at Sacramento High School. We're at the half. Sac on top, 36-20 over Whitney in this girls D2 semifinal. And we have Lauren Goodman standing by with a special guest. Lauren?
Well, Will, I'm here with the guy who runs the show over at the Dragons Den, Greg Norris. Greg, 2 teams in the playoffs right now. Just talk to me about the atmosphere on campus and how excited you guys are for these 2 teams.
Yeah, there's certainly a buzz. Students are excited, staff is excited, and we're just super excited that, that our hard work is finally paying off.
Well, we can tell that your hard work is paying off, but in the special factor in there, you have 2 coaches that have kind of been here and know these type of kids. What have the coaches shown you to get you to this point and where they're in the 3rd round in the playoffs?
Yeah, number one, they're in the community, they build relationships, they do an excellent job. But they're also firm, and they have a ton of respect with our kids and the community. So I'm just really proud of both of them, and I wish them the best.
Well, we saw last week they kind of highlighted Michelle Massari reaching the 250 mark, something that coaches kind of dream of doing. How special is it for you guys to have her and say she's on your coaching staff and has been here for the last 11 years?
Yeah, as an AD, it's enormous for me because I know that she's going to take care of her business. She's going to do it really, really well and professionally, and she's done that. And she's turned it. She has great talent, but she does an awesome job coaching, and a lot of W's there.
Well, Coach, I can't remember the last time Grant and Sacramento High School has had a valuable game. We kind of were talking about it prior to, maybe even back to 76, the most important game the Dragons and the Pacers have had together. And tomorrow night, they're going to face off to get to Golden 1. What are your guys' plans? I know Sac High always does something big, but tomorrow is an enormous game for the boys.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. It's a huge game. We've got a fan bus, so we're going to be rolling up there big, and we're really looking forward to it.
Well, it seems like you guys have a lot of fun things going on here. Greg, and they're in good hands. Will, back to you.
Well, thank you, Goody. Good hands is correct, and our statistics are in good hands as well. Dave Larson with the compilation, Rick Stewart with the application. And you see our halftime score with Sac, a nice comfortable 16-point cushion. And here are the numbers that correspond to those numbers. Well, it's clear Sac High is shooting the ball very well. A number of those buckets they've scored have been in transition right around the bucket. And the free throwing has been exemplary for the Dragons. 3 balls, it's been a one-sided affair so far. Something I didn't expect, but something understandable given that this is Whitney's first time on the floor here in spacious Hotel Pavilion. The rebounding, slight edge to Sac, and the turnovers, very costly there. 4 of those 10 turnovers led directly to Sac High baskets, so that's an area that the visitors will definitely have to clean up and protect the basketball a lot better than they did in the first 16 minutes. Both clubs back onto the floor warming up, and Lauren will be greeting her next interview guest. That'll be head coach Sydney Gatson of the Whitney Wildcats. And we have a continuing crowd coming in. Actually, it's very surprising how quickly this lower stand did fill up. A lot of late arrivals in our crowd today. Individual scoring, Whitney led by Jada Lewis with 6 and 3 other players with 4, and Avent leading the Dragons with a dozen. Well, Lauren has collared Sydney Gatson. Let's bounce it down to floor level. Lauren?
Well, Coach, you guys came out and responded in the second half. How was the talk with your team at halftime?
It was good. We talked a lot about defensive transition. That's kind of what's killing us right now. So just getting back. I feel like we're doing a really good job against their pressure, but again, we got to finish the play and get back.
Biggest adjustment that you need to see your team make right now in the third quarter to get right back in this game?
Limit them to 1 shot. Getting back on defense, limit them to 1 shot, boxing out, got to win that loose ball battle.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Will?
Thank you, Lauren. We definitely have the common goal of these two teams to reach Golden One Center on Friday, and if they do that, that means they're playing in the Girls Division II Championship game. And we got 16 minutes ahead to see how that plays out. Right now, Sac in charge. Got a whistle right off the bat. Okay, foul on Sac. 3 fouls on Ryan Walters. That is not good for Sac High fans. Non-shooting, so the Wildcats inbound. We'll see how effective their halftime adjustments are. McFarland, error on a short on the 3. Follow up the other McFarland, short on the left-handed hook. Walters a rebound. Gomez misses in close, out of bounds to the Wildcats. I do believe we have an update for you scoreboard watchers in early action elsewhere around. There it is, St. Mary's 21-16 over McClatchy, a 5-point cushion for the Rams. Early on at McClatchy, whistle and a foul. And you see there in another D2 battle, Antelope up a dozen on visiting Elk Grove. Winner of that game to play winner of this game. Walters zigzag on the run, Jay, wide air ball. Gomez follows. Well, she's been having a heck of a playoff run. And another bucket there for the senior post. Brustman, Lewis, they break it. McFarland sends it low to her sister, who misses point blank. And a held ball tie-up possession to Whitney.
She's not going to be able to get that one back.
Lewis Lewis will inbound, baseline right for the Wildcats. Lob to Brustman, post up, whirling hook is good. Well done.
Brustman has found a way to get some easy buckets around the rim. Hopefully she can be a factor in this third.
16-point cushion for the Dragons. Avent helped kickstart Sac's push early with some three-ball gunning. Turnover Sac. That was a problem in the first half for Whitney, 10 of them, nearly half of them leading directly to buckets.
And again, you see him right back in that 2-1-2 press.
Drive to the bucket, another layup missed. Fumble the rebound, who wants it? Whitney comes up with it and reloads here at the 6-minute mark, early third. Lewis passes inside, Brustman misses another short hook.
Oh.
Whistle and a foul. And I would like to see that one again. It's unclear to me who actually made the contact on that one.
I never like the trip-up fouls. It always gets very chippy, and it can go either way. But right now, Whitney needs to respond to Sac High's offense.
Mathis drives it and lays it home. A quick hesitation and then to the bucket.
Too easy for Mathis.
Taken away by Mathis. Feed low, out of bounds, off Brown.
And prior to, I've had several conversations with Coach Masari about Mathis and how good she is and how she's developed over time. And now you see her just a part of that rotation, being a part of what they do.
Turnover, Whitney, a poor pass from Maisie McFarland, intended for Lewis. That's turnover number 12. There you see Jada Lewis, one of the better players in this area. Trying to get her game on track here with her team down 18. Corner shot on the way. Nearly an air ball, long shot by Avent. Walters, pump fake, draws a foul on Maisie McFarland.
And Gomez is such an asset to her team. Being able to rebound from all these shooters and scorers allows her to do what she does best, and she's been able to get double-doubles multiple nights because she can rebound.
Avent, nowhere to go, drives in and misses. Up the floor, Lewis pulls up and fires. Short on the three, tracked down by Brustman.
And Lewis kind of just settling.
A missed shot by McFarland. Salvage. Brustman a miss. It comes out long, and Maisie McFarland rebounds for the Wildcats.
Coach Masari talked about it at halftime. Sac High was still not able to get a rebound or be able to box out so they can prevent offensive rebounds.
Lewis with the dribble, the runner down, and they call a charge as Walters was knocked down on the play. Was she outside the key?
She was not outside the key, as we're about to see right now. Lewis just trying to find a way to create and get something going for herself. She finally sees an opportunity to turn the corner, but well, she might have been out of it barely, but she was still solid, staying strong.
Okay, 40-22. Sac on top, midway third. Mathis to Gomez. Walters down.
And that's one person you know you don't want to see score.
Pass ahead.
And the fans loving Gomez's ability to block it and save it.
Alyssa Baker had the shot. Brustman misses in close. Boy, I've lost count. Here's a steal by McFarland. Lewis has the short J. Whistle and a foul. They are piling up now against Whitney.
Oh, it's getting the scary zone right now. Dragons have responded, came out very well in the third, and they're playing aggressive like we're at home and our mind is to get to Golden One.
Gomez, a free throw. For a 63% free thrower, she's having a good night up there. 5 out of 6. (44-24). Whitney turnover. Down the slot, dump it off. Gomez lays it home and draws a foul on Brustman.
We seeing a connection like no other right now. I want to say probably one of the best duos in the section, Ryan Walters and Murray Gomez.
Fouls on Alyssa Baker.
And it's all set up by her attention. Walters gets so much attention. You leave Gomez wide open for the easy dump.
Correction, it was on Brustman, her second foul. It comes at 3:18, flip side, quarter 3. And Sac stretching to its largest lead. This game has gotten away from the Wildcats.
Yeah, and I still, Coach, finding opportunities to teach. The game is never over if you're in my mind. It's never out of reach. It's always an opportunity to be back in the game, but they need to respond, and they need to respond aggressively. We already know, Will, we talk about this all the time. Our streaks, you got to get on a streak of 3s. Either you got to get 3 defensive stops or 3 consecutive buckets to start a run, and that's what Whitney needs right now.
So Gomez to the stripe, trying to clean up a 3-point play, and cannot. So Alyssa Baker has the rebound, and here's an immediate double team and tie up, and it's a turnover. Sac has the rock. Terrific D there by Rebecca Brown. Well, they're going to give the rock to Whitney and a foul on Brown. Okay. Inbound to Bernard just into the ball game. Sophomore guard wearing 24. Give and go. Brustman, a missed layup. My goodness.
Man, oh man.
If they'd hit half of those missed layups, they'd be in this game.
Walters is out for ankles right now.
Well, she almost got her own ankle on that last one. Time out.
And this is a good timeout right now. The Dragons are getting too happy right now, like the game is over, and it's not, and they're playing very sloppy, and that's how you lose games at Golden One. And so Coach Rosario is right now taking a timeout so that she can get her team focused and get them back on the right foot.
Speaking of focus, Coach Gatson in that Whitney huddle, serious game face there, trying to get her ball club to focus even tighter.
It's just a different type of environment right now, especially in Dave Hotel Pavilion, and I think it's starting to hit in on Whitney. But again, if they come out aggressively and respond to what their coach is asking them to do, a lot of times coaches are presenting it to you. You have to respond as the athletes and play. Too many missed layups, too many missed opportunities right now, which Masari is on the floor and delaying time. Which almost gives them an advantage to getting back in the strong side.
So the Dragons will inbound. Walters to Brown. Downtown Brown has her second tray.
And right back the extended pressure.
A steal, kick ball. So Brustman out for Whitney, and Mackenzie McFarland back in for the Wildcats. Sac will inbound into the post. Gomez has the ball stolen away by McFarland. Avent has it stripped away, gets it back. Fires away. No. Lewis, zigzag move, brings it up court under heavy pressure, and it's going to be a foul. Closely guarded by Sanaya Moore.
That was pretty good defense on the other side.
First foul on Moore.
But Whitney, they got to score a bucket right here. It's imperative that they score a basketball right now.
Into the post, no one there. Miscommunication. Turnover, Whitney, number 13 on my unofficial card. Still in there, 2-3 looking zone. Mathis to Brown, feeling hungry here, missing a long three. Crashed the board, ripped away. Alyssa Baker has the board.
And well, if you haven't noticed, every time Lewis has the basketball, one of the best defenders on Sac High's team is guarding her, maybe even a double team.
Elbow J, pops out. Alyssa Baker has her follow-up shot blocked. Brown up the floor, 1:20 to go in the third. Avent attacks, another miss. Send it ahead, McFarland, beautiful pass from Jada Lewis. Less than a minute remaining here in the third. Moore back out to Mathis. Now Brown, another long miss. Over the back foul, Moore over the back of Maisie McFarland. A couple of subs come in for Whitney. They bring on Sophie Rails back. And the Dragons bring in Bella Rainwater. Turnover Whitney. My.
And it's been turnover city in the second half for Whitney, unfortunately.
So the Sac will inbound near side at midcourt. Rebecca Brown to do the honors here with 31 seconds to go here in the third. Game clock and shot clock just about exactly synchronized. Elbow J, Avent, wide open, and she drops it. 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Near over and back. McFarland gets inside, misses the layup, but draws a foul, perhaps on Brown.
Oh, she looks a little shaken up. She's been playing hard all game. So hopefully she'll be okay, knock these free throws down, be able to get back in the huddle and respond.
3 fouls on Brown, who remains in the game. Kenzie McFarland has the free throw. She's 3 out of 3 up there tonight. 7-point total, make it 8. 51-28. And we have played 3 here at Sacramento High School's Dave Hotel Pavilion in this CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Les Schwab Tires basketball playoffs. Girls Division II semi. Sac is rolling. Yes, indeed. You know, part of what these student athletes play for is the goal, the desire, the dream to move on to the next level. And I think there's some players on both these teams that have accomplished exactly that.
Well, you see, there are 3 stars. Ryan Walters leading the way with Santa Barbara, Adriana Avant, New Mexico, and Rebecca Brown going to SF State. Sacramento High School has become the school if you want to get a scholarship or you want to play at the next level, as they have a multitude of athletes that have played at the next level and are playing at the next level right now. So these athletes are just following tradition.
Well, it's quite a tradition indeed, and pretty exciting, I imagine, for those young ladies to have that destination already determined.
Well, it's no easy path. And then you see on the other side for Whitney, Jada Lewis going to Portland State, and then the McFarland sisters going to Utah State for softball. Something that I gotta highlight, play softball back in high school, as well as the multi-sport athlete is something really, really important. Schools benefit, and you see Whitney having 2-star athletes is really to their success.
Whistle and a foul. Evidently, Lewis got brushed on the dribble there. She'll inbound from the far side. 4 fouls on Rebecca Brown. I'm quite sure she regrets that. She'll take a seat on the bench.
Yeah, too many fouls for her unnecessarily. She has to do better.
Inbound to Maisie McFarland. Back to Lewis. Drive it, lay it. Missed. Unbelievable. Through traffic, Walters, full speed. Dish it. Gomez misses the follow. The trailing layup was beautifully manufactured by the Walters drive and dish. Continued full court pressure. Break up near steal. McFarland gathers though and sends it ahead to Lewis. Brustman through traffic. Take it strong. Blocked out of there by Gomez.
Oh, and they're playing at a whole nother level of physicality and speed for the Dragons that I think have affected Whitney all game.
Lewis will send it in. Here's McFarland missing in close. On the floor, nice salvage there by Alyssa Baker. Lewis drives it, misses the runner, draws a foul. Walters was there, as was Moore.
And I know she's probably dealing with a lot of frustration right now. Haven't been able to just get those type of buckets that she probably normally gets. This is a hard place to score in. I think even when you come in early or you get an opportunity to shoot in here, you have to be zoned in, game focused. If you're just shooting shots lackadaisical or not going game speed, it's very hard to make baskets in Dave Hotel Pavilion.
2 out of 2. 51-30 on pair of free throws from Jada Lewis. Break the press. Mathis attacks. Blocked and grabbed. Up the floor, 2 and 2. Nothing doing. Trailer, Maisie McFarland. Corner J on the way. Lewis, another miss. Crash the board. Who wants it? It's Gomez. Avant. Little too much French pastry on that. And Sac fortunate to hold on to the rock.
I like pastries, Will.
I know you do. Avant launches again. Another miss. Out of bounds to the Wildcats. Well, I wonder what's going on in that other D2. Up, there it is. Things are staying tight. Elk Grove hanging with the Titans. 34-30 Antelope. 36-30, should say.
Oh, that's a game we want to keep our ears to because the winner of this game is playing the winner of that game at Golden 1.
Break the press. Nearly stolen away. Walters, super quick hands. Mackenzie McFarland inbound into the backcourt to Jada Lewis. Early fourth quarter, 6 20 to go. Sac up big. Lewis right down the slot. No help D and a foul on Sac.
And there's Coach Gatson still coaching on. I think it's important, regardless of what's happening in the game, that you're still involved and you're still making your presence be known, and that's what Coach Gatson is doing right now.
Lewis drops another free throw. She clicked on 2 of them just a short time ago up there. Foul on Covarrubias, her first. 2 out of 2. 51-32. Walters dribbling out of trouble. Around the corner on Lewis.
Too fast.
Break up and steal, poor pass. And deflected away. Give Sanaya Moore the defensive credit for that turnover. Number 15 on Whitney. Number 10 on Sac.
Sac High has always been known for their defense, but to see them play man-to-man, matchup, mano-a-mano with the extended pressure, looks like they're focusing on something different that they probably haven't focused on years prior.
Avent left open on the baseline, another miss. McFarland has the rebound for the Wildcats. Whistle and a foul. Lewis had the shot. Covarrubias, her second foul. So Lewis back to the stripe where she's been busy in this quarter. Let's take another look at that drive.
And now she's going
on
to
the arm.
She's going to the basket more this quarter than she's been all game.
5:34, time getting tight here for the visitors. Down plenty. Number 2 got it. 51-33. It's been a 5-point run for the Wildcats, and Mathis unable to shag that loose ball out of bounds to Whitney.
And that's that continuous coaching that I'm talking about on the sidelines. It has to be. Masari and her ball club can't get too excited. The game is not over, as well as you want Whitney to continue to play, continue to fight. We can't get all this way and just give it down and lay down that easy.
Lewis looks over the D. Guard close by Walters. A break up and near steal. Mathis has it now. Layup is good and fouled by Brustman. Well, she earned her keep on that one. Substitution Whitney. Brustman out. Back into the ball game for the Wildcats. Sophie Rails back. 3-point play for Mathis and the Dragons. 54-33. McFarland to Rails back. Here's the cutter. Blocked out of there by Avent. From the blind side. Part of our crowd there, happy about that. Lewis. Alyssa Baker misses in close. Avent up the floor. Layup missed. McFarland loses the handle, gets it back, feeds low to her sister. A kick out, and here comes Rails back. Now Lewis, fire from 3. Air ball short and out of bounds. Avent attacks 2 defenders, dumps it off, and Gomez going to be called for a foul. as much action as she's had. That's just her first foul of the ball game. Whitney will inbound under Sac's bucket. Into the ball game for the first time, Mirza. Her pass deflected and run down by Moore. No rush, no fuss for Walters. (54-33). Midway fourth, Sac in total control. Whitney trying to climb to the top of Mount Everest right now with little time remaining. The pressure, perhaps the most significant factor in determining the disparity in the scoreboard right now. Lewis picked up by Walters, 23 on 23. Mirza, who can shoot the three, drives it, kicks it, gets it back. 3:35 to go. The runner is an air ball and a shot clock violation. Out of bounds to Sac on turnover number 18. Inside feed, down, Gomez again. And I believe Alyssa Baker's going to be called for the foul. Three-point play. Mireille Gomez, 57-33. And Baker cannot handle the up-court lead. Turnover, Whitney. Substitution, Baker out, re-entering for Whitney. Freshman Sydney Berry, wearing 33. Inbound goes to Gomez. A miss from the corner by Moore, one and done. Mirza on Walters, short on the layup. That's been the story, gets it back. Follow up, missed again. Boy, oh boy.
Work her! Work her!
Loose ball taken away. Lewis has it 1-on-4. A collision, no call on all that, and she hit the shot. Well, I've seen a lot of things in my time, but 57-35, and Gomez has a fast break layup.
There we see that connection again. Walters and Gomez playing so well together.
A full timeout. We're going to take a break ourselves and come right back for more of Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week.
Staring contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Just 2:07 left here in this girls Division II semifinal, and Sac High has defended home court beautifully, and it has been quite an advantage. Mirza short on the three. It's the Wildcats' first time playing on this floor, and it kind of showed, but Sac High had plenty in all regards. Whistle and a foul.
Foul called on play.
Should be bonus free throwing. 1-and-1 for Walters. The foul on Baker. Her second. On the season, Walters a 65% free thrower. And she'll get the bonus. That's her 10th point, having another outstanding all-around game. Rebounding, defensive steals, and assists.
There's nothing that she can't do, Will, and that's why she's on the high level that she is.
Take all of them out.
Well, there's a pleasant face in the crowd. Mr. Gary Martin, Access Sacramento's executive director, on hand this evening for this girls D2 semi, and 2 out of 2 for Walters. She's matched her average with 11 points now. And a steal by Walters, fouled on the inside shot by Fernandez. Second foul on Tess. So Ryan Walters dropped a pair of free throws just a few moments ago. Back up there again. Well, the end of the line for the Wildcats this season coming in tough fashion, but does not detract from an excellent season as Walters hits the back end, 1 out of 2. 62-35. Continued full court pressure deployed here in the final minute and a half.
Of course, this is a Sacramento style. They're not going to just make it be a cakewalk because they're going to have to prepare to play a top dog, whoever, at Golden One.
The runner missed, 1 and done. Sac with the rock, and they've got all subs on the floor. Here's a steal by the Wildcats. A missed shot and a whistle and a foul. Well, I wonder what's going on over in Antelope territory with the Titans and the Thundering Herd. Up, pulling away is Antelope on top now, 53-38 in the third. That'll be a tough one for Elk Grove to overcome.
Yeah, it's kind of getting out of reach. Over there, we already know what's going to be happening probably at Golden One. We're going to see a matchup again that we haven't saw in a few years, Antelope and Sacramento High School.
2 out of 2 for Sophie Railsback. 62-37, full court pressure by the Wildcats. Inside follow-up, down. Nice job with that return shot. Cashed in by Derlantis. Turnover on a backcourt violation. That is turnover number 20 on the Will James unofficial card in the final minute here. And the Dragons have put it all together. And we want to remind you, Lauren Goodman will be visiting with our players of the game in our post-game segment, so you do not really want to miss that because that's always a nice part of our presentation. Timeout taken with 31 seconds left as the Dragons call for a full timeout. And they have definitely shown a good part of their A game tonight in sequences. And by the score we showed you of other games going on, it looks like it'll be, as Lauren said, Antelope versus Sac in the girls D2 at Golden 1. And according to the Sac-Joaquin section office, that will be on Friday at Golden 1. So we have 10 substitutes onto the floor for the final seconds in this ball game. The final 31.6. Bad pass. Railsback's got it on the steal. The fall away off the board. Wrestle for the rebound. Sac comes up with it. Whitney playing this out till the end. I gotta compliment them on that. No lost intensity whatsoever. And that is game ball. In convincing fashion, the host Sacramento High School Dragons have neatly dispatched, visiting Whitney High in tonight's girls Division II semifinal by a final score of 64-37 in a ball game that started to unravel for the visitors in the middle of the second quarter, when a 5-point lead at the quarter became a 16-point lead at the intermission and worsened from there as far as the Wildcats were concerned. But a valiant effort put up by Sidney Gatson's ball club in a venue they hadn't seen before against a perennial local area powerhouse. So, tip of the cap for the effort. And we encourage you to not wander off. We've got more to come here with our post-game show coming up shortly, and interviews with our players of the game. Stay with us.
I'm Ferdinand. You look at me and think big. You think scary, but I'm a little misunderstood. Sorry, I almost killed you. You've all been misunderstood. I'm not a fighter.
I don't understand that at all.
Kids with learning and attention issues like dyslexia and ADHD are misunderstood too. Take the time to understand.
Best plan ever!
With the right support, everyone can reach their full potential, because you can't judge a bull by his cover. Learn more at understood.org.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The verdict is in, and the decision is final this evening in Oak Park here at Sacramento High School Dave Hotel Pavilion, where tonight in a girls Division II semifinal, host Sacramento pretty much puts it all together in defending their home hardwood and roll to an overwhelming 64-37 victory over the visiting Whitney Wildcats. Lots of excellent performances tonight, and we isolated a couple of them as our players of the game. And we can show you here on our graphic for Whitney High, the outstanding Jada Lewis did not turn in her best performance, but had enough good moments to show what a quality player she is, finishing with 15 points and miscellaneous other goodies with a fine floor game. And for Sacramento High School, Murray Gomez, really a thorn in the side of the Wildcats all night long, and a superb 20-point performance. Lauren Goodman is standing by with our players at the game. Lauren?
Thanks, Will. Well, I'm here with two outstanding young ladies, one for Whitney and one from Sacramento High School. First, from Whitney, I'm here with Jada Lewis. Jada, you had a tremendous game, 15 points. How were you able to stay focused through the ups and downs of what was going on in the game?
The way I was focused during the game was I just noticed all the mistakes I made, and I was able to fix them and just be in the game.
What motivated you? Now, you had a big fourth quarter. You kind of woke up in the second half. What was motivating you to kind of push it more and give your team more?
I knew I needed to get shots up and to stay strong with the ball, so that's what I did, and I just took it in control.
Well, I got to ask you, because next year you're going to Portland State, big time, getting a scholarship from this area, but what is your message for your team? Because you will have another game, but some of those young ladies tonight will be their last game for Whitney.
I love my team. It's been a long ride. We've definitely grown as a team, and I see it in every one of them. And especially for the younger ones, they just need to stay strong, and hopefully next year they'll get it. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations on your amazing season and going to Portland State next year. Thank you for joining us. Well, I have the shy Murray Gomez. You had a big game tonight, 20 points, probably double-digit rebounds. How do you be such a big factor around all these other great players that you have?
Well, one, I have to rebound. And then when I rebound, it opens up things for me. So I start by rebounding, and that opens up things for me as I go along. So just rebounding, and then that opens up my offense, and that gets me to get the ball up and get the ball back. It's a pass and go.
Well, throughout the game, you had multiple looks and opportunities with Ryan Walters. Can you guys kind of talk about your relationship and connection that you guys have? Because she seems to know where you are every time you run down the floor.
Me and her have always had good chemistry, point guard post chemistry, and we're just building on it as we go on into the playoffs.
Now, you are having your first opportunity to go play at Golden One. How special or how big is this moment for you and for your teammates?
It's really big to me because I know I'm going to play a factor in this, and it's huge. I'm excited. Can't wait for Friday.
Well, I know you haven't signed yet, but that's something that we're going to be waiting for in the near future. Good luck on the rest of the season and at Golden One.
Thank you.
Well, now I get to interview the one and only Michelle Masari, coach. I mean, the defense. I know you guys are normally known for your offense and your big-time scoring, coach, but can you talk to me about your attention to defense and your focus on it this season that's probably been different than other years?
Well, I have an assistant coach who's been bugging me. I taught his daughter in club probably like 6 years ago, and he's been texting me every year like, you got to play better defense, you got to play better defense. So he came over this year, and definitely we put some energy into it. We're athletic and we're fast, so I had to kind of like put myself aside a little bit and then go with what works for us. So.
Can you give me a little time to talk about how special Mireille Gomez is? I know she's kind of one of those kids that has developed over time since being here, a part of the Dragons, but she's not one of your normal traditional stars, and now she's kind of broke loose in this playoffs.
I think for her, she was always a softball player that played basketball, so then now she's just dedicated to basketball a lot, and so she's kind of feeling herself. I get on her a lot because I laugh. She had double-digit rebounds, but she literally could have 20 if she puts a little more effort into it. But I'm proud of her because she really has stepped up, and I'm on her butt a lot about doing the right thing and getting better, and especially like changing herself to be a leader. And I think that she's just really confident. She's sick right now too, so she had a good game. She didn't practice 2 days in a row. She was very sick and on a college visit. So for her, like, to come out, she was struggling a lot with her throat and stuff, but she came through.
Coach, now it seems to me in my ear they're telling me that you guys are going to probably play Antelope.
Yeah, they won.
And now you haven't taken this team to Golden One, and this is going to be something new for you, but you're playing against a crosstown rival, something that's kind of sparked up in these later years in your career. How do you feel going into Golden One again? Normal atmosphere for you, but with a new ball club and a different game plan.
It's weird because I keep saying Arco, like, been to Arco 5 times, so I keep saying, we get to Arco, and they're like, no, it's not. I'm excited to be there. I can't wait. I've been watching it the last 2 years in the stands, and kind of, you know, we've lost the last 3 years on buzzer beaters, so, and then I'm ready, like, to get something back. Sean and I play a lot in clubs, so we know each other very well, so now it's just going to be about who executes and who has more heart.
Well, congratulations, Coach, on making the Golden One. Will.
Thank you, Lauren. Certainly two outstanding student athletes taking Player of the Game honors this evening, and Sac High doing something that is nothing new for them, but it's something new within the last 7 years. 2012, the last time the Sac High Dragons ladies played in a section championship game. So with that said, Michelle Massari has an opportunity to secure her 5th Sac-Joaquin section championship, but she'll have to go through Antelope in order to do that. And as you just mentioned, Lauren Goodman, I think that's going to be quite an attraction for the local community, Antelope and Sac, and that should be a real crowd pleaser.
Oh, it's going to be a crowd pleaser just on the simple fact that the last time these two teams played actually was for a section championship, and Antelope came out on top. So when we talk about series histories, that's something that we know, 1-0 going to Antelope. So the Dragons have everything motivating and pulling them to go in the Golden One and handle business, but they got to go over the Antelope first.
Well, Dave Larson crunched the numbers tonight for our stats. Rick Stewart applied them, and let's take a look at this final set of numbers that somewhat described tonight's course of action.
There it is there, Will. If I had to circle it right now, 15% from the field, and then 0 threes. 0 threes for a team that was shooting really well coming into tonight's ball game.
I would venture a guess that that's the first time in 30 games, 31 games now, that they did not hit a 3-ball. And the 15% probably is a season low. And certainly I lost count of the number of missed layups and point-blank shots right at the bucket tonight for Whitney. Unexplainable, but that 15% definitely attributable to those missed shots in close.
Yeah, on mine I had 15 unofficial, and that was just to the third quarter, so they probably missed more than that. But you can't miss chippers, you can't miss easy buckets, and again, I'm going to continue to say this is the hardest place to shoot other than probably Golden One or Arco Arena. When you're coming into this house, you got to really be prepared, and there's a certain level of focus that you have to have when you're shooting shots.
But you never had any trouble shooting here, did you?
Absolutely not. I'm a gym rat. I always come into the gym. I don't think I've had a game here where it hasn't been 30-plus.
Whether it was with Sac or with the visiting Titans, you put up some amazing numbers, and I have to say that Access Sacramento's executive director, Gary Martin, has put up some amazing numbers over the years. Nice to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here, Will, and congratulations on wrapping up another Hometown Sports Game of the Week season. Year number 21 on Access Sacramento for you and the whole team.
21 sounds like a lot, Gary. It's still difficult to believe.
Well, 21 speaks more to your age and energy right now as we finish another season. Will, you still put it all together really well for us.
I'll vouch for the age part, but maybe not the energy.
Well, maybe with Lauren Goodman joining the team now in the last couple of years, we're getting some of that youth back. And, of course, we do need to say that there's a special reason for me to be here tonight, because as we wrap up season 21, we know that Access Sacramento entered the Western Access Video Excellence Awards, the WAVE Awards, again this year. And Game of the Week has come away with 2 very special awards. And I happen to have them here with me.
Is that right?
Because they actually have the name for you, Will James, and Jim Domino on there, because it was in 2017, just last football season, that you, Will, along with Jim Domino, called a 4-overtime football game in a CIF opening round or quarter round game between Sacramento here and the Del Campo Cougars. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that broadcast? Because it has won 2 of these delightful plaques, the Western Access Video Excellence WAVE Awards for sports coverage and for live television production for the Access Sacramento team. So for all of the camera operators, people in the truck, for you and Jim and Lauren too, for being a part of that broadcast, 2 great awards. I'll let you hold them. But tell us about that ball game.
Well, I'll tell you, Gary, I'm a bit flabbergasted by these awards here. I'm very honored. That game will go down in the history of Access Sacramento's Game of the Week, perhaps as the most exciting of all. It was 4 overtimes. It was played at Del Campo. And what stands out in my mind, besides the drama and the suspense, overtime after overtime after overtime, was the number of star power scholarship level athletes in that game. I would guess at least 25 between the 2 schools, Sac and Del Campo. That game was star-studded, packed, and the drama and suspense in that game just wrung everybody out.
I don't know if Coach Jim Domino, CIF Hall of Famer, who was doing the color analysis of that game with you, he would have to put it in that same place, in part because his grandson, Tyler Domino, was the quarterback for Del Campo.
It certainly was, and just to be very candid about that, that was an emotional, mixed feeling game for the Imperator of analysis, Jim Domino. He, part of the time he was a grandfather, part of the time he was a head football coach, and part of the time he was a game analyst for Game of the Week. And I saw the changing back and forth into those 3 personas that was entertaining in its own right.
Well, it so happens, Will, that after every ball game, you and Jim will narrate some highlights of the scoring plays and top plays from each of those competitions. And so I'd like to revisit the past, and let's go back, and we're going to play actually about 5.5 minutes. We're going to move it away from basketball for a second, and we're going to play about 5.5 minutes of your analysis and replay of those top plays and scoring drives from the Sacramento at Del Campo game. Okay, let's take a look at the video from the truck.
Is that right? Fair Oaks, California, the site. Del Campo High School, the host. A D2 quarterfinal rounder. Here's Del Campo. Handoff to Cabral. Look out. Boom. That's a sampling of what happened all night long. E.J. Hagg-Larry, 32. One of the best defenders in the country.
Watch Shelton back to pass, going deep downfield. Looking, and look, a great interception by Trevor Bruns, taking away from the big man, Bradley.
Yes, great game. Here's Tyler Domino looking, throwing. It's Braun's his favorite target. A touchdown for the Cougars on top early.
Here's Shelton back to pass here. Rolling out, flushing the pocket, going to the corner. And Joseph with a diving catch going out of bounds, saving the day for the Cougars.
That's the second pick against Shelton, but it's been a long night. Here comes Markey, tough running back. He dances in from short yardage for a Cougar TD. 14-0 Del Campo.
But it's not over. It's just for halftime. And watch Sheldon going deep to the corner to Tanner. And keeps 1 foot in and scores just before the half with 6 seconds.
14-7 at the half, and Shelton liked that so much. That jump started him onto a rampage. Derek Shelton with 39 TDs. He's got Tanner again, all alone, undefended. A stroll for the Sac High speedster, and suddenly we're tied at 14.
Wide open, I guess, and really a misnomer there by that secondary. Shelton back to pass, going now back into that corner area. Wide open in the middle. Wide open, number 10.
Dante Moore.
Dante Moore, and comes away with a fumble, and guess who? Hunter is the man.
Now Shelton's going to go for the corner. The leaping grab, and it's that same man, it's Williams with the grab, celebrating in jubilation.
And there you see Tyler Domino back to pass. He's got a man open, flushes the pocket, looking downfield. He goes down the middle and makes a bad decision. A great pick there. Interception by Felton.
Del Campo back on the attack. Hard hitting and a goal line play. What happened there? The Dragons trying to keep him out of the end zone, but to no avail. Markey from short yardage again.
And there's a handoff outside to Roy Johnson, who came in and gained some big yards, going in for another Cougar score.
The most bizarre play of the evening upcoming. Del Campo backed up nearly to the goal line. It's a fake punt by Jake Ray, trying to kill the clock here. Eludes 3 Dragon defenders, and instead of going down in the end zone to try to lock up a victory, they rule him out at the 1-yard line, and Sac High says, thank you very much. Here's my 1 play, 1 second touchdown to get us off the hook.
And made it easy. Felton made it look easy going in and tying up this football game.
Crucial play on special teams, as it was all night. Perez trying to add the PAT. Blocked by Hunter. One of the 7 or 8 key plays he made. A hustling Kuzi scooped it up and thought he danced in for a T, but it's disallowed by rule.
Shelton once and again going easy to his big man Bradley, who really protects the football, he and Tanner.
Well, we talked about Hunter on offense, on defense. And here's Tyler Domino scrambling away from pressure. The leaping grab over Drayton. Hunter with the 6.
And once again, we continue this overtime. Coming up in here, Tyler Domino faking inside, rolling to the corner. He's being pressured on both sides, escapes, focuses, looks to the corner, and goes to the end zone. To once again, he's gone there many times this year to his favorite, Trevor Bronze.
Derek Shelton liked that last play to Bradley so much, he decided to duplicate it. Open underneath, in between the double coverage, Anthony Bradley for 6.
Sheldon back to pass again, going outside to the screen play, and this is a great run in here. Watch Kuzi, number 2, take him to the end zone.
They're trying to tie it up. Actually, they're trying to win it here, but the field goal attempt is pressured and the line drive is wide, and the beat goes on.
There you see Tyler rolling out, giving the ball to Cabral, and bounces outside, gets in the end zone.
That ties the game, and with the missed PAT, a chance to win it. Jake Ray puts a foot into it. It's good. In quadruple overtime, Del Campo rallies numerous times to pull out an amazing 49-48 victory, and you can see this Del Campo contingent jubilant and probably in disbelief over their performance tonight to topple a tremendous Sac High ball club. For Jim Domino, I'm Will James, Hometown Sports.
Well, you must admit that there's exciting football action on Hometown Sports Game of the Week. And Will James, you've been the executive producer for this for 21 years, created with Ron Cooper way back there. And it's an amazing run for Access Sacramento. And it's nice to claim in this in the 20th year, the success of earning 2 of these delightful Western Access Video Excellence Awards, the best sports coverage and the best live broadcast in 6 Western states from Access Productions. So it's an amazing thing.
Well, it is indeed an honor, Gary, and credit has to be given to the crew.
Oh, yes.
If not for them, couldn't be done.
As you look at those shots, they're coming, of course, from camera operators. Bruce Riggs has been game camera for a long time, and a lot of those sideline camera shots came from Greg Kuripat on the sidelines with the wireless camera, and it is an amazing thing what the Access truck has been able to create over the time. Jim Bailey on instant replay, pulling all of those pieces together, graphics from people like Rick Stewart, and certainly for Mohammed Al-Bajori, who's on camera right now. The shot coming at you right now comes from Mohammed, and our 2 engineers, Danny Mendonça, and of course Richard Langley, who has been with our truck for so many years. Boy, he knows all of the locations when we're going to roll that truck in. It's an amazing thing.
It is. Our community really, unless they're part of it, doesn't get the full grasp of what goes into it, either the preparation or the skill that's administered by everybody in the crew, and it's just a joy to work with them, Gary.
And it's been delightful in the last couple of seasons to have Lauren Goodman with us. I don't know if you realize years ago, we only ran wired equipment down on the sidelines, and to do coaches' interviews on the sideline was nearly impossible. But you get down there with that wireless equipment all the time, grabbing interviews and shots from all over. It must be kind of fun to be on the back end of all this technology and be able to see all of this that's come together for you now.
Yeah, I'm the young pup of the crew, so I love to get pampered and taken care of, but it's all attributed to the relationship I've had with Will James over the years when you guys were back in that small man crew. He's always been a part of my life, whether it was playing here at Sacramento High School or playing at Luther Burbank. There's always been support from the Access family, and a lot of that goes to Will James. I know he is maybe getting choked up right now, but I think a lot of the credit that I definitely don't get to acknowledge him as in he's the fuel that keeps us running, and he is the mastermind of kind of all of it. So with his perseverance and his faith in the Access crew and the family and the type of person he is overall, awards like this is great to just honor him, and what he's done over the 21 years has definitely made an impact on my life.
And 3 more people we want to mention out of the video side of the house. Of course, Nick Dunn, who's been directing most of this season, along with Stephen Barassa and Kevin Benyon. An amazing group of people who put all of those pieces together. On the audio side, of course, Marcus Jackson has been a trooper for the last couple of years, and more recently, Zach Worley with the broadcasts during basketball season. So we have a great team, and I'm so proud of all of them for putting all of this together and for the awards that we received based on that event last year.
Truthfully, Gary, I wish I had an individual award for everybody on my crew list here, because it's so well deserved. They do it thick and thin, good weather, bad weather, overtime, not overtime, under adverse conditions that we could reminisce about at some of the venues. We've had to really jump through flaming hoops basically to get the production in. I don't know if we missed anybody, but Jim Bailey, Stephen Barassa, Nick Dunn. We got Marcus Jackson, Greg Kuripat, Richard Langley. We've got the man, Danny Mendonça. We've got Bruce Riggs, the Stewarts, David and Rick Stewart, Dynamite. Zach Worley, the Master Commuter.
Coming in from Tracy.
Coming in from Tracy. And Jim Domino for football, but next to me for basketball, it's Goody, Lauren Goodman. Pleasure to have you with us on our crew, and you've brought so much to it, but I'm very honored to have received these awards, Gary, and couldn't come as a bigger surprise.
Well, I'm going to get out of the way because I suspect in order for this broadcast to end, the two of you need to say the last couple of things here as we wrap up season 21 and the conclusion of basketball season. There will be some more events to come as we march on through the end of the school year. Maybe a little bit of chess, which is a lot less of the collision-prone football action, but I think you'll be able to do some play even on that.
I had a good time with it last year and would like to do it again.
Well, I think we're going to make that happen. Let me get out of the way,
Checkmate.
and we'll let you, there you go, we'll let you wrap up this broadcast.
Thank you, Gary. Mr. Gary Martin, Access Sacramento's Executive Director, who has gone way beyond in helping keep Game of the Week together and flourishing with all the concerns brought to bear for our productions. Lauren, back to this game tonight, one-sided affair. Whitney learned a lot, I'm quite sure. Unfortunate that it has to be an elimination scenario for them, but we saw good things from Coach Gadsden's ball club. There will be better days ahead, and for those 4 key seniors moving on, 3 of them we've splashed their intended college destination. They're going to do just fine. And for Sacramento High School, first time in 7 years that Coach Massari's ball club will be playing for a section title.
They haven't been there in a while, and now it is the test of time. We already know they'll probably get a NorCal bid, but it's to go win at the big house. They haven't won it yet with this crew, and this is what this crew tried to do. They came to the school to get championships, and now they're getting an opportunity to put it in their grasp, but they got to go ahead and take it.
Well, they're accustomed to trying to do that. Let's see if they're able to pull it off again. Well, that's the way it winds up this evening here at Sacramento High School's Dave Hotel Pavilion, where tonight, in a girls Division II semifinal battle, the Dragons come up big and will play for the D2 title in a few days at the bigger house, Golden One Center. Final score tonight, Sacramento High 64 and the Whitney Wildcats 37. Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew and administration want to extend their deep appreciation to the Sacramento High School administration, particularly to Athletic Director Greg Norris, for their cooperation and assistance with our broadcast arrangements. The Hometown Sports Game of the Week is a special sports presentation of Access Sacramento in association with Play-by-Play Sports Productions. For Executive Director Gary Martin, Lauren Goodman, Game Director Nick Dunn, and the entire Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast crew, I'm Will James. We thank you for joining us tonight, and as always, we look forward to the next occasion when we can get together. From Sacramento High School, so long, everyone.
From Access Sacramento's Hometown Sports Game of the Week is available for purchase on DVD. For more information, call Access Sacramento, 916-456-8600, extension 0. This has been a Hometown Sports Game of the Week broadcast from Access Sacramento. Major underwriting support this season for Hometown Sports Game of the Week on Access Sacramento is provided by the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Television Commission. Access Sacramento also thanks Sharif Jewelers, fine jewelers since 1932. Sharif Jewelers, a longtime sponsor of community television. And Folsom Lake Honda, a proud sponsor of Access Sacramento's Hometown TV and Game of the Week, and a partner in our community, Folsom Lake Honda.